Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for kickoffs and kick-ons.
Yes, g'day, and welcome to the KOKO Show. Yes, kickoffs and kick-ons, and we are up and about in here, aren't we, gents? Woo! Come on, production staff, give me one. Ow! You know why? Because we are officially schmitting it in. That's right. Hey, where are we ranked in the world now, Biv? What number?
Number one.
Number one.
Well, it's actually, we've got to play South Africa in the Rugby Championship to determine who's number one.
Right. So, but is it tied for first at the moment?
At the moment.
Tied for first, the Wallabies. We are on a high. Goodness me. The Joe Schmidt era is here, and we are at the forefront, the KOKO Show. We have sponsors. Yes, this funny little show has a sponsor. It is Polo Ralph Lauren, and it is brought to you by Maya. We are in the Polo gear again today. We are looking fantastic. We've got George Michael at the end. You're looking wonderful.
Yeah.
And obviously, Swoop, you look dapper. We've got Goit there, who's got the top button done up. Everybody's feeling great. We will get into what we're wearing a little bit later on, but it is a big thanks to Polo, Ralph, Lauren, and Maya. Reminder, maya.com.au. Get on and get your Ralph Polo Ralph Lauren gear. Also, the pies are back, 4-20. The pie man's here. We're going to be eating more pies when we're doing the quiz. Very
all
exciting.
Australian beef.
Or 100% Australian beef. There is not one cow in there that is from anywhere else.
No.
And you know what else? Footy season. Test footy season means pie season.
Get involved. Now, on today's show, so much rah-rah to talk about. Goodness me, international rah-rah. Is there a better type of rah-rah?
There isn't.
No other rah-rah.
There is no better rah-rah. The mighty Wallabies, they took down Wales. Wasn't even a competition. It was embarrassing. The Wallaroos. Was it too much?
Maybe just take it back a
Bring it
bit.
back. It was a pretty good game. Well done, the Wallabies. WALLAROOS, they took down FIJIANA. The Springboks, that battle of the big dogs. Remember that? Woo, woo, woo. They beat the Irish. The All Blacks, they scraped home against the English. Wasn't that a good test match? That was outstanding. And the French, they got it done in Mendoza against Argentina. Plus, loads more international footy to talk about in the pod. Also, finishing the show today, we have a big finale. We constantly get people writing into us saying, bring back Waltzing Matilda.
Yeah.
Why don't they play it at the games? It's our spiritual song. If you're not from Australia, get on, have a look. Waltzing Matilda. We grew up singing it in the womb, don't we?
Pretty much.
And today, as a big finale, one of our staff will be singing us Waltzing Matilda to take us out to celebrate the brand new Joe Schmidt era.
Just to tease it a little bit, we have a staff member who's been on stage, been on camera. It could be very good.
It could
Well,
be.
you'd expect it to be good.
I'm told he's a tenor.
With his CV.
Yeah.
Yes. He's been, if you've seen the movie San Andreas,
He's not fucking doing it.
Hugo, you're doing it. And there's a bit of negotiation between now and the end of the show, but I think we're in the lead here, guys. It is going to happen. Now, Goit, I can see you sitting over there and waiting. The theme for today's show, Goit, for the introductions, because we've obviously just put Wales to the sword, is whales. So the production team got together different types of whales to introduce you guys. If you're
This is so easy where it's heading.
Swoops the sperm whale.
well, one of you is. One of you is. It's not Swoop. Let's start with the humpback whale. The humpback whale is the most hormone-fueled and persistent whale. The male humpback, when on heat, is referred to as an escort whale. Known as the ocean show-off, the humpback whale is famous for wanting the other aquatic animals' attention with huge, unnecessary dives. The humpback is a very social mammal, and it's said if they are left alone, they will die. Ladies and gentlemen, Drew Mitchell.
Oh.
Don't leave me alone.
Just always have someone with him. Next, the blue whale. The largest mammal to have ever existed on Earth. The echo frequency of a blue whale is so low that no other living creature can ever hear it. Its tongue weighs over 3,500 kilograms, while its brain only weighs 5 kilograms. But none of that matters because its penis is the size of a hatchback. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Ashley-Cooper.
Big old bluey.
Finally,
big tongue.
finally, and you were onto it. The pygmy sperm whale. Now, I just wanted to do sperm whale, but Hugo found pygmy sperm whale, and he insisted.
Do they exist? Do they
Apparently.
exist?
Apparently, the pygmy sperm whale travels the furthest in a year with their migration, with many of them calling the waters of Hawaii home. This is true. Ironically, the sperm whale has the lowest libido of all the whales, preferring to spend its time staying fit and maintaining its slender 450-kilogram physique. Finally, when startled, the pygmy sperm whale unintentionally ejects yellow or brown fluid to distract predators. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Giddo.
This just turned into a pretty consistent stitch up, isn't it?
They wouldn't do it when you're back here, bro.
No, God, no.
No.
Not with those big guns.
Not Hugo, he's a coward.
Well, when he sings Waltzing Matilda to take the show out, people will realise what a great guy he is. Let's start with how the week was, in particular Saturday night. Gents, we all saw you out at the game. How was that? How was the spectacle of us schmitting it in?
No, look, I had a great day there. We started early, went down there into Paddington, just got right amongst the atmosphere, did a couple of speaking gig functions beforehand, got around to a couple of the bars in Paddington. I ticked off the Olympic, the Imperial, the London.
You ticked off a few tradies' laptops as well.
Yeah, a couple of slaps, and then it was time to go to the footy. But I just loved, there was a big crowd out there. Fijiana and the Wallaroos first game. They got the job done, Schmidting It In, and then our boys went out there against Wales and did the same thing.
Very good. Now, Swoop, you were there as you were helping Defender out.
That's right,
who remains the major partner of the Wallabies for this season. You had a little something to do for Defender?
Little something to do. I mean, the itinerary, I shared that itinerary with Drew, just not heavy on the consumption, as I had to get into a Defender and drive it onto the field with my mate Little Arch from Seaforth Raiders. So out there to present the plate or the trophy before the game, which is
I think, is it the James Bevan Trophy?
James Bevan Trophy.
one of them.
Yes.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Beautiful car.
They are a good car.
Yeah.
Geez, I'd like to be in one.
Yeah, I would too.
I'm going to be in
Tried
one
my
this
best
weekend.
to take off with the keys, but they're all over that stuff.
Where do you, once you've driven it onto the field, do you have to then reverse it back up the tunnel?
Oh, I didn't
How does
have
it
to.
work? Oh, somebody else did.
Yeah,
Of course.
the driver.
Probably. Yeah, wise. So you're doing it this week for Defender?
That's right, down in Melbourne. Yeah, so I'll be putting the keys in, starting her up. Swoop's been trying to convince me to do a couple of donuts in the middle of Amy Park, but I'm not going to do that.
Fantastic. Goit, hey, how did you watch the Wallabies Schmidted in over there in San Diego? Was there a big Wallabies party or?
Huge. Massive. Me and Das, we sat there arm in arm and we watched the game. It was good. I thought, obviously, good to get the win, start schmitting it in. The boys are probably be able to tell you in a bit more detail. But yeah, it was good. I think it's just good for Australian rugby off the back of what happened, just to start this new era, get excited about rugby again.
Now, I believe also the bonus content this week, Bits with Gits, you've locked it in. It is finally Darcy Breen. And is Corbs?
Yeah, we got Das. Yes, Corbs will be there because the way props are, they don't like to be alone too often. So Corbs is going to hug him, talk him through.
The humpback whales, that's why.
Yeah. Exactly. The humpbacks.
All right.
So, yeah, we will get Darcy.
Now, there is a lot to go through in the show. We obviously have our usual stuff at the top where I'm teasing where to find us. I'm teasing places to buy merch, all that stuff. But I thought today, let's just get in to this Wallabies 25 defeating Wales 16. This is officially our rugby roundup segment for the beginning of a new era, the Joe Schmidt era. 3 tries to 1 in favour of the Aussies. We all watched it. Tupou went over in the 20th minute, then Danganu in the 51st minute, then Tom Wright, that amazing try in the 68th minute. Gentlemen, who would like to go first about this Aussie, spectacle out there at Allianz? Drew?
Yeah, look, I thought it was a great start. I mean, I know there's going to be, there's going to be errors. There's going to be times where we're just going to have to be patient. They're going to start to iron out some of the, the cohesion and that type of thing. But I thought it was a strong start. 7 players on debut, a new captain. There's a lot to like about the way they went about their efforts. I thought they worked hard for each other. They did just the simple things well, which is what we've kind of been hearing from Joe Schmidt. That, of course, in execution on a number of occasions, they can really sort of sharpen that up. But the fact that they were working hard for each other, working hard to get into position, working hard to be in a position to capitalise on opportunities, I think that's sort of, I mean, you're talking about it a lot going into the game. You want to see a benchmark. So I think the benchmark they set on the weekend is pretty strong. But of course, you'd like to see that benchmark just keep elevating week to week. And but I thought it was a good hit out. A number of players sort of stood out. Jake Gordon was fabulous. And I know Noah probably didn't have his greatest game, but I think we should really still stick with him. After him having a crack for a period of time and then getting dropped and not utilised for the World Cup, that would have had an impact on him mentally. I think if after one game you drop him straight away, like it'll just open up some of those old wounds. I think you've got to stick with him. And understand that these young guys at 10, whether it's Noah, Liner or Ben Donaldson, you're going to have some ups and downs, but you've got to stick with him for a period of time.
Now, Swoop, obviously the last time we played Wales, we sat here with Matt Burke. It was like a funeral. We lost 40-6, I think it was, in that World Cup. Obviously our set piece in that particular game stank. How have we turned this around so quickly?
Well, maybe some good set piece coaches. I don't know, mate, or good head coach. You never know, but
I like it. You started with a zinger.
I mean, obviously set piece is such an important part of the game, particularly in test level. Their line out functioned well. Their scrum was dominant. It was just a good physical performance. Some really, really strong carries. They kept it somewhat simple. Were able to keep the ball in hand and apply pressure at the right times. But also handle pressure. Obviously, with Fraser McWright going off there for 10 minutes, I thought they did really well to be able to kind of maintain a little bit of momentum. Stick to their game plan and just keep applying pressure. Obviously, like you said, Drew, Jakey Gordon, I thought was excellent. I guess his accuracy of distribution, the speed of the distribution too was key. He was accurate with his kicks. It was great to see him perform well. I mean, obviously get a start and perform well, given, I guess, the last couple of years in his situation. But Tom Wright was incredible from the back. I mean, that try there that really sealed the win for the Wallabies at 60-odd minutes. 63 or so. He had absolutely no right to get through that.
I see what you did there.
But he had Tom Wright.
He had Tom Wright.
He didn't.
Is that a fluke, that pun, or?
Come on, son.
You're too good, mate.
And absolutely incredible feat, like just how balanced he was just to get through there at the end. It was it's a fantastic try. It's great to see him bring that form in from the Super Rugby into the Test arena. I'm excited to see the next couple of games from Tom.
Now, Gitz, that was Liam Wright's first go as captain. You've played with a lot of Wallabies captains. Give us a bit of an assessment of his first hit out while at the helm.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I don't have the ref's mic on, so I don't. I'm not sure exactly communication or how he led the team, but I thought he played well individually. How he leads the team or continues to lead the team, I think we'll get more of an understanding how he is as a leader, in the coming weeks. When he's at the helm for a bit longer. But I think. To touch on what the boys were talking about, especially Drew in particular, with his point about Noah. I think it's hard because Noah also, he's playing with two different centres that he has no combination with. So I think that's going to take a bit of time. He's used to, obviously at the Brumbies, they show a lot of confidence in him and just leave him there to feel comfortable there. I think Joe Schmidt will do the same here. But, I think that combination, working with those guys, even your communication, knowing where to play, who to play to, all that stuff, it's going to take a little bit of time. But I thought, all in all, Liam Wright as a captain, he did super well. He got the victory. He's 1 from 1. I'd finish there.
Retire. Yeah. No, good shout.
As a captain, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, you look at Tom Liner came off the bench, and he was strong in his role, but he was also playing with Tate McDermott at 9, Queensland Red, Paisami, Fluke. So he had familiarity around him as well. Yeah. But that's also some of the smarts in Joe Schmidt's selections on the bench. Alan Alatoa with the Billy Pollard and Kylie, a young prop, but just to have some seniority and leadership around him when they come on. And again, just in the outside backs and partnerships. And so when these young players go on for debuts, they've got people that they're familiar with around them.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I felt watching it, there was really good energy, like good juju And I think Fraser McWright is a big part of that. He does lots of bum taps, lots of high fives, lots of keeping it upbeat. Were we seeing that last year? I don't feel like it was the same. I don't know. I feel like
Is that what I was supposed to be saying there when you were asking me about the captaincy?
I don't know.
I feel like I let you down a little bit there, but I didn't know what to say.
No, well, somebody just wrote here on the piece of paper, Liam Wright was good as captain. And I thought, well, I'll just ask that question next. He spoke very well post-match, Liam Wright, like quite the diplomat, quite the politician.
Run us through it.
Is that what you're going for with a captain? Are you going for the guy that can communicate, or are you going for the guy that's going to put his head where nobody else will?
Well, I mean, you need an element of both. But after your first win, you've got to sort of temper it a little bit. You can't be coming out, and like you've just gone number one, which they have.
Yeah, big news.
But there's got to be humility, and also they understand they've got another job this weekend against the same team. So it's one of those. It's a funny one, I suppose. Sometimes, and it's often the coach or the captain. They'll say something completely different at a press conference to what they're saying inside the dressing sheds. And whatever's in those four walls is what really counts, not necessarily what's at a press conference.
So back to Fraser. So he's your energy guy. When you guys were playing, was there somebody that kept it up like that kept it ticking along the whole time, made sure that everybody was in a good space, pumped?
Yeah, you kind of have those barometers in your team. Like Kirtley was always a guy when his mood was up, and he was out there just enjoying it, talking it up. Like you knew that when he was up, like that sort of mirrored the group. But yeah, I mean, look, it looks like Fraser McWright certainly sort of taking on that role in the current squad. He just gets around. He's just someone who just enjoys his footy. We've spoken to him. He's a friend of the pod. He's spoken to him a number of times, and he doesn't take himself too seriously. He takes his job really seriously and his role and his responsibilities as a player. But he just, when he finds the moment, he enjoys the moment.
Few moments in the game to discuss. There was the Lolosio chip across to Kellaway, where, risky play, but obviously at the time we had the penalty advantage. Would you have liked to have seen that just shifted right? Or, I mean,
hindsight, right? Like he was a couple of inches away from taking an absolute screamer.
Yeah.
And, we'd be talking about it.
Wasn't much in it. I mean, it's easy to say in retrospect, right? You could look back and say maybe you could have kind of taken to the line and played hands or gone over the top. But I guess with the penalty advantage, it's a free shot. You also got to give these guys license like Noah to express themselves. So, mate, I thought it was a good decision, good play. Why not?
Well, and the thing was, because there was space there, right? Like if he'd taken half a club length back, Kellaway's catching that and putting it down. So the option was right. The execution slightly off, but I'm happy with it.
You're happy for him to continue? Yeah. Now, the other one's Danganu. Have I said that correctly? Dangunu.
Yeah.
Apologies. You felt like he dominated the whole time. Took every high ball. That amazing try where he slid. It was like the length of a bowling alley, where he got taken down and he slid.
It's like you and Macau.
Yeah. Yes, when I slid down the bowling alley. Did I do that? I don't really remember. He was amazing for the Wallabies, and is he that missing piece on the wing that we've needed?
I don't know, but I'd like to know how many starts he got at 13 during the Super Rugby season. It was the majority of the season he played at 13. So I thought what was really impressive about his performance was the fact that he'd been in an outside centre role with the Melbourne Rebels and coming on the wing one with those skill sets and be accurate around high balls, being in position well around the park, and then obviously scoring a try. I mean, it was a really good performance. But I think what's helped him is the fact that he spent some time one in during the season and then gone one out and tested around. It's giving him some comfort, some understanding, some clarity around what's needed from each other's roles, and you could see that was a comfortable performance.
Let's talk about Schmidty. I did enjoy when they'd cut to the coach's box and that he was always standing. He looked alert the whole time. He's like a cat, just so he never sat down. Whereas Gatland sitting the whole time. Is this Schmidty's thing? Does he never sit down, or was he just
I reckon
really
maybe
nervous?
when he's less nervous. Through the defender rehearsals, which were very early on game day, there was a bit of feedback from a couple of the girls that he was nervous in terms of quite edgy. But I mean, he had every right to be right because his prep with this team was very limited. So I don't know if it's a fact that he was nervous. I would assume so. But I reckon he'll find his seat once he gets more comfortable in the role and they start to build a little bit more momentum.
Gitz, were you pretty impressed?
What a shit job, though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just like as a coach, you're nervous, but what can you do? So there was a time at Toulon when our owner sacked the backs coach, then called me in and he said, "Gitz, you're going to be backs coach." I said, "Well, I can't. I'm still playing. With the boys, it just doesn't work." He said, "Well, you're backs coach." So I was like, "Fuck, how's this going to work?" Anyway, so we went out, you did the training, you set the game plan. But I remember sitting there, turning to the other coach and just saying, "This is one of the worst feelings ever." At least as a player, you may play shit, but you've got the opportunity to do something on the field. We go out there, Drew in particular, he would just ignore parts of my game plan, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I didn't understand. It was in French.
So when you were backs coach, was every play just through you? And was it Gitz runs the ball or?
No. So I didn't play. So I think it was like 6 weeks. I still come back rehab.
Right.
And so the owner thought that was a good opportunity for me to do that. And I'm like, so I'm setting up cones, then doing rehab while the boys are doing their drills. It was very bizarre, but more the point being getting nervous as a coach. Like, it's the shittest feeling in the world because you can't do anything.
I'll tell you what was bizarre was when he came back from his rehab, he then started to pick the back line. That was bizarre. The team meetings when he's just dropped his mate Ma Nono or something and Gitz is like, "No, I want someone else at 12. You're out, Scucks."
While you would...
Hey, that's not true. So that's my one stipulation I said to the owner. I said, "Mate, I cannot be involved in selections just because you're mates with all these guys." And that was one thing I wouldn't get involved in.
How were
Isn't
you
that right,
coach?
Drew? Even got you to the final?
Yeah. Well, that's where you actually did utilise your selection policy and you got me in.
Did they try
you
to
were
drop
always in.
you and he...
Probably. I got dropped a few times.
Yeah, right. Now, how did you go in the coach's box?
Oh, it's hard.
Swoop, were you...
Like Gitz was saying, it's a horrible, horrible environment to be involved with. I guess as a coach, you spend all week trying to install, the plays and the calls and then, some systems for them to go out on the weekend and obviously get a result. And also as a coach, you don't get much feedback. You get hardly any feedback. The only feedback you kind of receive is on the weekend, which is the result. And that result is totally out of your control. So it's that sense of, I guess, helplessness up there. But I'd like to think that I kept my cool over in LA, where Stephen Hoyles, on the other hand,
No, does
not
he
so
lose
much.
his shit?
Oh,
Yeah.
mate, like ridiculous. Again, I was injured because Swoop was my coach and he ruined my calf that season. Don't know if I brought it up, but I was sitting in the box with him. And I remember when Halsey was going off, I was like, "Who is this guy?" Like, he was possessed. Like a bloke I'd never seen before. He's always just calm. And even Swoop turned around and just gave me the nod as in, like, "Told you so."
So was Hoylesy the head coach and you were...
He was backs.
Backstage,
You were backs.
yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Dark
Wow.
side of Hoylesy.
But on that, like the sitting and the standing, like back to my old career as a commentator.
Yes.
Shawnee Maloney would always stand up when he's the play-by-play caller, and he would stand up. But also further than that, he'd always have to take his feet off. He wants to ground himself and just like wants to feel. I mean, in this case, the carpet. But and when you're sitting down and the play-by-play caller is standing up, you're like, I feel like I need to stand up here. And I just was just like a bit of a weird energy dynamic. And then I actually quite do enjoy standing up. You felt a bit more engaged in the game. I don't know.
You take your shoes off?
No, I didn't take my shoes off. No, but dirty socks. But I
Feels
think
that way in the pod a little bit.
Yeah,
I've just had a crack at it and I feel like I'm listening a lot better.
yeah.
That's what you're saying.
you're
It's
standing
not
It makes you
comfortable.
feel a bit more engaged. Maybe that's Schmidty.
I think, well, also, I guess he's looking down and all the players are standing up, aren't they? Well, except for the ones on the bench. But he's, you know what I mean? They're standing, I'm standing.
Yeah,
But his assistants were sitting, I noticed. So Lord was sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a sitter.
He's a sinner.
Yeah.
Well, they say sitting is the new smoking, don't they?
Is it?
Yeah.
I can
Being
do both.
sedentary is very bad for you.
Right.
What if you're sitting and smoking? What's that?
That's the new heroin.
It's-
Anyway, very good. Go Australia. Anybody else got anything else they want to pop in to finish this little? I guess we can look forward. Next week's Melbourne.
Yep.
Would you make any changes to that Wallaby side?
Well, I mean, I think going into this game, I thought they'll use the 3 games, 2 against Wales, 1 against Georgia, to kind of have a bit of exposure to a few players. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a couple of changes, not on performance, but just on exactly that, getting a look at them before the Rugby Championship. But I just think there are some key roles and players and personnel that you just need to stick with. And Noah's one of those. They might give another, I don't know, maybe a Tate or a Whitey a crack at 9. Not because obviously Jake went really well, but I think there's just going to be a couple of positions where they just get a bit of exposure to someone else. But I don't think they'll be necessarily off the back of performance changes.
Guess if you were Gatlin right now and you were coaching against Australia, what would you be doing for this next week?
Oh, I'd just be enjoying the week. Yeah, no chance. We've got Joe Schmidt. Like, you may as well just enjoy Sydney maybe and then travel to Melbourne. Well, I mean, Swoop's more the tour guide, but I'd probably stay in Sydney till Thursday.
I'd say
Head
Friday.
up Friday for the captain's run. You'd go Friday, yeah. No, I mean, I actually think, obviously, you look at the score, and I know you said we did it in a canter, which was true, but that last 10 minutes, when they started to move the ball around, they were asking some serious questions to the Wallabies. So I think that's more their blueprint, rather than playing that structured style, which I didn't think suited them as much as it did the Wallabies. I'd try and open the game up a little bit more.
Now, there are a lot of Welsh people that watch this show. Their side, Wainwright played his 50th cap. He played out of his skin. He was very, very good. And then the new young number 10, Thomas. Is it Ben Thomas? Last sort of 10 to 15 minutes, he found his way. Are these, if you were a Welsh fan, are these good signs for their side? They're rebuilding at the same time we are.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, they've also picked up a few injuries. I think 3 players, senior players, Liam Williams being one of them. I think all 3 maybe with some type of leg injuries that they're under clouds, whether they're going to be able to strap up again this weekend. But, like you said, they're in a similar sort of position to us. Young squad, rebuilding, a couple of years of not getting the performances and the results that they want. And they're trying to turn that around. So, look, 9 points in it. Wales had opportunities. I know there was a bit of chat around a disallowed try for driving more. They'll feel like they're right in it going down to Melbourne. And this is up to the Wallabies to go back to back, which we haven't done for a while.
Yeah, right. And then obviously Ian Botham's grandson played. That was kind of cool. Did you know that? Beefy son?
Yeah.
What was Botham's grandson's name, Tommy?
His name...
James Botham, Ollie? James. Fantastic. Beefy. Good on you. Doesn't really prove anything. I love cricket. Okay. Let's do you want to do your holiday swoop of Melbourne or you don't want to? Holiday hotspots in Melbourne, Swoop?
Well, you never asked me to do it.
No, I asked you to do Dunedin.
I know, and I thought you said Dublin. So I did Dublin.
Have you done Dublin?
I did Dublin.
Well, why don't we'll analyse the Irish-South African game, and then after
Then
that...
throw to me for some hot spots.
And throw you some hot spots from Dublin. So there you go. That's fantastic. Right, let's look to the Wallaroos now. 64 defeated Fijiana. It was a great doubleheader there at Allianz. Best stadium in the world to watch football. I've been to a few in a row now. Big turnaround for the Wallaroos after that, I guess, not so great quad series that they were in. What's the difference been here, Drew?
I just thought they were really sort of diligent in their execution. Desiree Miller, 4 tries on the edge for the Wallaroos. A great afternoon out for her. But I just think it kind of goes back to just being physical, being dominant up front, and then laying that platform. I know that sounds really sort of cliched, but that's kind of what they weren't doing in that Pac 4 series. They were getting dominated in those exchanges, those physical exchanges, and on the weekend against Fijiana, they really won those battles. And then off the back of that, they were able to play, create opportunities or space, and then they got the ball to the space, and they had some amazing finishes to be able to do it. But the big thing for this result is it gives them a lot of confidence moving forward. They went down to the second tier of the next competition they're going to, the WXV. So to get it, not just a win, but an emphatic win, like 64-5, like that's huge for them moving forward in terms of their confidence. So Joe Yap, her first win as the head coach of the Wallaroos, and the girls are soldiering on, moving on.
So 72% of the ball and massive territory, 14 line breaks. I mean, any day of the week you have those sort of numbers, Swoop, you're going to walk away with the chocolates. Am I right?
Yeah, you get the chalky ears with those kind of that time with ball. But I think they obviously addressed all the takeaways from that earlier series and benefited from that. The time away was obviously crucial in terms of understanding how they want to play. They went out there and put on a really good performance. Like Drew said, Desi was unbelievable on the edge. 4 pies in a test. You
4
take that
4 and 20s.
4 4 and 20s.
We
Get
should,
her.
we should ship her a few.
Should we ship her a few?
Yeah, can we ship her a few? Oh, we're going to ship her a few. Fantastic. They take on Fijiana again next weekend. No?
No, New Zealand
Sorry.
at Ballymore.
At Ballymore. Yes.
One of the great spots as well. Feel the hill.
Get there. Make sure you watch it. Wallaroos, they should go all right against New Zealand coming off, well, such an emphatic win. All right, there you go. Good luck to the Wallaroos against New Zealand this weekend at Ballymore. Now, we skipped this at the start of the show. We do have our sponsor, Polo Ralph Lauren. We have to do our Match Fit segment. Should we do it real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here it is. Match Fit. All right, who would like to start us off? Goit, you look, well, spectacular there with your top button done up and it's well fitted to you there. What are you wearing today, mate?
Well, I'm wearing Ralph Lauren. I've gone with similar to your little picnic rug setup.
Yes.
Kind of that little check, but
Oh, yeah.
I've tucked mine in
Love it.
into the corduroy. The corduroys, I thought they were phenomenal. I had a great sleep. I almost fell asleep in the pod. They were that comfortable. Stretch. I love a good swing test, so it's all a win here.
Terrific. Do you want to give it a quick tug for us? Just show us the durability.
The shirt?
Yes,
yep.
the shirt. Yeah, the shirt. Give the shirt. Oh, goodness me.
Not going anywhere.
Okay, and there's spots you could wear it. Many spots, many places.
Yeah, I think I almost accidentally turned into the library heading here. I just felt like that's a place where I should be working. But you could wear it anywhere. To a school, parent teacher, church. Church would be a good one.
Definitely church.
Yeah.
You look fantastic. Thank you for that. Hey, what have you got next? You got your shades on.
Yeah. I'm rolling with the white chino.
Yeah.
And of course the Ralph Lauren denim jacket. I feel cool.
You.
Obviously, I just felt like I needed to wear the shades.
Yeah.
And I don't know. You tell me. I look.
Mate, I didn't
cool.
even notice you were wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
Like, that is because it just goes with that outfit.
Like,
Got a bit of maverick about you.
yeah. Well, his name's Pete Mitchell.
Is it?
Yeah, Lieutenant Mitchell.
Yeah, there you go. Where would you wear it and durability?
I'd wear it to maybe an NSYNC concert.
Yep.
Backstreet Boys.
Yep.
I'd wear it to maybe kick-ons, like 2 days in. Have a good drink.
Yeah.
Go into
That's
a
a big
pub.
winner.
Yeah.
Big winner.
You're like, I'm here to party.
Yeah.
Like, I am the party.
Yeah. Here's the vibes.
Yeah.
Get a load of it. Love it.
Mate, if I was looking at you slapping a pokey with those sunnies on your head, I'd be like, that's a dream outfit.
Yeah, and also he's not losing.
No,
Not in that
He's
outfit.
won before he's even put his cash
Yeah.
in, this bloke.
I am winning.
Give it a tug for me, mate. Oh, my God.
Yeah, you're doing well, dude.
Holy dooly. That is...
You're doing well.
3 tugs.
Ooh, Swoop, what do you got? Look at that little
Yeah,
number.
look, I've just got this little sweat number. Kept it really simple, basic.
Yeah.
It's all about basics.
I feel like you need that today.
Yeah, don't we?
And he is sheepish, and that's why it's merino sheep wool.
Yeah, look, the thread count on this thing, it's so comfortable.
Is it?
It's so soft, and I'm going to ask you not to request a tug test because I really like this.
Yeah.
And it's special to me.
Okay.
And so I don't want to compromise the
Fair
thread
enough.
count.
Yeah. No, you know that
Tug
it'll
your
be
pants
okay.
then.
Yeah. I got it.
I'll tug those.
Yeah.
See that?
And where would you wear them?
Well, I was thinking maybe if I'm dropping into Harris Farm to pick up $16 bottle of 2-litre A2 milk, that would go down well. Yeah. Or maybe to the RTA to renew my license.
Oh.
You could wear it anywhere. It's versatile.
10 years. Imagine that in the photo.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Could
I'd
imagine.
be pretty happy with that.
Very good. I've got my last rugger bugger on. My last rah-rah. It's got the purple, the dark blue. It's got the forest green. And then it's got the gold. Paired it with my jean. I've worn it high.
I like
For the
it.
high hip. And it feels great. Look at that.
Wow.
Goodness me. Fantastic.
Other than a podcast, where would you wear it?
Spelunking.
Sorry?
Spelunking.
What's
Come again?
that?
You don't. Spelunking is it's caving mixed with canoeing mixed with. You guys don't do
Yeah.
it.
I've never
Carry-
spelunked.
No,
what you
it's
do is
starting to ring a bell. Keep going.
you get your camel back. You pack yourself a couple of carabiners. You get
Yep.
yourself some ropes. You drop yourself into some sort of cavern, and then you
Crevice.
crevice, then somebody drops a kayak down to you.
Oh, really?
And then you away you go.
Wow, I wouldn't imagine there's be too many spots that feels that.
Blue Mountains.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, you get up there a bit,
there.
Yeah,
I
perfect
do. I'll do
spot.
that.
And that's a perfect outfit.
Yeah.
Hey, got lots of spelunking in San Diego.
Yeah, they're big on it. Now that you've mentioned it, they love to spelunk. I was talking to a guy just the other day. He's a big spelunker.
Yeah. Sick for it in San Diego.
Hey, next time you go spelunking, you should
Yeah.
take my turtleneck.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
In my kayak, just spelunking everywhere.
Can you capture some footage next time you spelunk?
I will. The thing is, you tend to
Do
do
you
it.
spelunk with your wife, or is it just a solo thing?
We have spelunked.
Oh.
She's not into it as much as I am. I've got a mate that I go with.
So you go on-
Dan and I spelunk.
Right, so you go on spelunk dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we camp. And then we spelunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Polo.
In the kayak?
Sorry? Yeah, we're still on the tandem.
Is it tandem?
Yeah, so I'll winch myself down, and then he drops the tandem down, and then he'll winch himself down, and then we just spelunk in the
Right.
in the cave. Yeah. I recommend it. Polo, not just known for horses and stuff, they're also big into spelunking. So, all right, that was match fit. Interesting. Okay, socials. Where can you find us? Lots of places. Kickoffs, kick-ons, everywhere. X, Insta, YouTube. Oh, sorry, YouTube's got an end in the middle, doesn't it? Got kickoffs and kick-ons. We are absolutely flying online. I can't help but feel like the international season. We are going to rocket ship to the moon here, guys. Were you getting the word out there on Saturday out there at Allianz saying follow the pod, watch the pod, listen to the pod?
Yeah, we had a number of people coming up and just saying g'day, and they loved the pod. We saw a few pieces of merch out there as well. So, yeah, it was good.
Yep.
Lots of Schmidting It In shirts. Were they wearing the gold?
Yep. Gold, white, black. Saw a
Fantastic.
couple of thickies.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Were they wearing big shirts, or were they wearing crop tops? Oh, there you go. There's a couple of Schmidting It In boys at the rugby there. Make sure if
Yeah,
you
the
do
boys.
get your...
No, I had a couple of thickies had waited and they got their shirts, so they fit them beautifully.
Fantastic. The spot to get your shirts is our website, www.kickoffsandkickonz.com. There's the black, there's the white tees. Has our new merch dropped yet, Tom?
Not yet.
Get on it.
Designs being finalised.
Oh, the designs
look
are
at
being
that shot.
finalised.
Look at that shot.
The old
Oh, this
the
is a
old
great.
girth
For
warmer.
those of you listening, there's a gentleman watching. He's got his kickoffs and kick-ons. Is that a Coke in there?
I think it's a
He's
Coke
having a
can.
Coke, yeah, so
does
it's
Coke
his-
have a collab with Marvel at the moment?
They must. A beer cooler. There you can get those. There's lots of merch to get on there. Also, the live show, Swoop. What's in store at the live show, which is coming up Australia v Georgia?
Well, I don't know, actually. I'm not too sure of the run sheet. I'm just hoping there's not too much of the or the cut footage. I don't know what you call it. What do
The
you call
blooper
it in
reel.
production? The blooper reel.
The blooper reel. Hugo, how's that blooper reel coming along? Okay.
But it's going to be huge.
Huge. So July 20th at Allianz. Get
Lots
there.
of pod chat, previewing, reviewing. No spelunking, but just good footy chat.
Great footy chat. 40 minutes we've been going, Hugo. Have we actually covered anything? Hugo just held up a sign that said 40 minutes. Did we cover the Wallabies, didn't we?
And Wallaroos, yeah,
Yeah,
but nothing else.
fantastic.
There's about 16 other games.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. All right, we'll get through these social snitches. I've got a shot of the two of you guys walking here. Who sent this
Well,
in?
actually, Prof, you know what? You keep throwing shit at us. And we put out the call last week about getting something of the hostess with the mostest, the Profinator. So let's have a look.
Has to be a
This is a
family
bit of
member.
this is a bit of footage from back in the day when Prof was a
here
rugby
we
league player playing for, what is it, St. Augustine's?
St. Augustine's. I'm actually glad you brought this in.
Prof wants a bit of street cred. Here he is on the
This
end of
is
it.
Against St. Eddie's.
Oh, the Prof.
I try.
Yeah, but
Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
I don't even know what colour hair you had.
Yeah, what is that? That's Sandy. There you go. Try scored. Oh, God.
Is that actually you?
Yeah, 1999, that is.
You look so different.
Yeah, geez, I took a long time to grow into my nose. Look at the size of that thing. It is.
But when did life get so hard? Because you were looking good there.
That's about 2 months later, my hair fell out. Don't pause on it.
It fell
Tommy.
out because this bloke
Don't-
gave you a big head rub, a little noogie.
We lost that 40-4, and that was the first try.
Well, at least you got on the score sheet.
I did. And Andrew Kellaway, if you're watching, that's how you take a catch, mate. Just like- Thanks for. I'm assuming that was just from you, Tom, was it? Because nobody sent that in, did they?
That was Laura L. Rochford.
Yeah, my wife sent that in. Great. All right, there you go. Social Snitches. If you've got stuff to send in of the three boys, because that's way more entertaining, send that in. Kickoffs, kick-ons. It's set that up. Now, as you said, Drew, there are 15 other games that we have to get through. Would you like a beverage here? Swoop?
Yeah, mate, sure, job.
So, well, let's roll this in here. Let's roll this stick in. There you go, Northern Hemisphere Legends. Obviously, the big games on the weekend all involved legends from the Northern Hemisphere. Bad news for you people up north, we gave you one.
Yeah.
I'm going to say out of the...
We gave you
we
one.
did. Out of the marquee matches, 3-1. So South Africa, New Zealand, Australia gave it to you. And then I guess...
Fiji beat Georgia.
Fiji.
There's another one in the bank for us.
There's another one. Scotland, Canada's both Northern Hemisphere.
Are we close to Romania?
In relationship, yeah, not in geography.
Yeah, right. Well, we can't claim that.
I think the Southern Hemisphere won over the weekend. We're going to try and start a bit of a rivalry here. Just a reminder, there is 90% of the people live...
So do we change it from NHL to like Northern Hemisphere Legends to Northern Hemisphere Losers?
Yeah. Can you do that for us, Hugo?
Just for the time being.
Okay, roll this thing in. There you go, Northern Hemisphere Losers.
And there goes half our viewership.
I know. Please keep watching us.
We're only joking,
We
guys.
don't want to get real jobs. Okay, hey, the big dogs, 1v2. They took it, well, Pretoria. They went each other. And I have to say, a physical battle.
Physically.
They were, within 7 minutes, they were trying to punch each other in the face. It was fantastic. South Africa, they beat them 27-20, but Ireland had their chances. Goodness me, it was a cracking game. Did you watch it wall to wall, Biv?
Yeah, look, it was just a good test match footy. There's been a lot of build-up to this one. Who's the world number one, the reigning back-to-back world champions, or Ireland, who in between those World Cups was sort of sitting and hovering around that number one pretty consistently. Both teams well prepared. They looked like they'd played a lot of footy together, which they have. Started early, Springboks got an early try, but Ireland, like you said, created opportunities, took opportunities. But I don't know, I just like the intensity that the game was played at. It was played up front, but then there was opportunities out on the edges with width. Crucial moments cost both sides at different times, and South Africa were just too good in the end. But special, I guess, mention to, did you see that scrum in the 77th minute? Like, the 8 men of the Springboks forward pack were basically jogging through the Irish. And I know that, it's one scrum. There were many in the game, but I think it was the last scrum before the end of the match, and then so the Irish team's been beaten, but their forward pack, I would imagine, would hold on to that moment for all this week. There'll be so many scrum packs at training to make sure they don't get that type of treatment again. Look, the Irish scrum in the first half was strong.
Yes,
must be said. But just that lasting memory, the one that you got to hold on to, because I know the guys in the front row and the forward pack, pride themselves on their set piece. But to have to hold on to that particular scrum, like that was
that
dominant.
the bomb squad that came on and did that? Was that the fresh legs?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's still the 77th minute. I don't know how fresh they are, but it's still to be able to do that. Like,
Or whether or not they all came on at the same time.
Yeah.
Did you clock that?
No, I didn't clock that this time around.
Says something for holding back on your, your biggest forwards, holding on to them for the last 20 minutes and them just coming out and absolutely dominating. Friend of the pod, did you see
Chezzy?
Ches Dogs?
Yeah.
Cheslin
Dog.
Kolbe. Goodness me. He doesn't, what would you say? He doesn't give up when other people do. Swoop, would you have scored a try like that back in the day?
No
Would you have?
chance. No chance. I would have had a crack, but I wouldn't have been able to finish it
On-
the way Cheslin does.
On Chezzy, and you're saying that he doesn't give up, and most people do. You're actually full of praise on your Twitter. I saw you tweet something about Chezzy, and for all the highlight stuff he does like a lot of the small things that go largely unnoticed.
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of the stuff when you're watching a game. Like for me, the highlights are so obvious. It's the small stuff that that I generally like to pick out that make a difference to the performance, but maybe won't be highlighted as much. But he, like in the World Cup, just those small things. Obviously, it was a huge game, but he made doing it forever. It's like Swoop. Swoop probably, I don't know, did you ever get a try off hitting a penalty post or anything? Like Swoop was someone that consistently would always chase the goal kickers' penalty kicks. Always. So it's just like those small little 1% efforts I really appreciate.
Is that what you
Yeah, it was
used to
true.
do?
It's
with
true.
your-
I had a crack. Never got one though. Oh, actually, no, I did. I got hand to one kickoff. Dan Carter, UBB
That's
versus Racing Metro. He was filthy about it. I was
No,
pretty happy
he's
about it.
talking about when your team's kicking for goal and you go through just in case they miss or you get a deflection off
Oh
the upright.
yeah. Yeah. No, I did. Yeah, I had a crack, but no, never really got any chockies off the back of that. Where you'd watch other centres or other backs do the work and come up with a bit of fruit, which, yeah.
Yeah, I remember Ryan
All
Cross got one
100
time for the
yeah, Cross.
Waratahs against the Western Force. He's paying $13 first try. I wasn't on it, but
Yeah.
if someone was.
Stu Ditchell was on it. The Irish, they weren't
This
without...
game, though, just quickly on this one,
Yeah.
I thought Wolf, like you've spoken about the big dogs there, Prof. This test, for whatever reason, for me watching it, because it was right in our time zone, it was right in the sweet spot here, it just felt bigger than the rest for some reason. Like watching it, the build-up, even when they're running out, singing their anthems,
The
it
anthem
felt
was big.
almost, but it just felt a little bit like, it just felt like a bigger game, just for whatever reason. And they showed that with the intensity that Drew touched on. This was a proper test match. And I thought both teams were probably a little clunky and there's things that they could improve. So this next test coming up, I reckon, will be even better. Where's that played? Where's this second test played?
Durban, we're on for the next one.
King's Pork.
Lovely. King's
Just
Pork.
frantic pace right from the kickoff. And the Irish, they weren't without their chances. So obviously there was the James Lowe try down the left-hand side, which got called back. Now, I know my rugby union now, but watching that, should that have been a no try? There's a guy stuck under a ruck and he's facing the other way and he's raked the ball back with his foot. I mean, he couldn't have seen the ball. I don't think he could have known the ball was there. Is that not just a moment where they should have gone, let's just let this try stand, kids?
I thought try. But then when it was called back, I didn't think there was any malice in it. I was with you, Prof. I thought that the position he was in, it was just like it popped out that way and it's play on. But when you go to the video refs, that's the problem. Sometimes when it's sent up to them, they have to follow the letter of the law, how it reads, and there's no room for feeling of the game. So, I personally thought the try would have stood, but potentially, I don't know the laws as well as the refs, obviously. But
well, the letter of the law.
if it says something,
And what they were communicating between TMO and on-field referees was the fact that he was on the ground. You can't play the ball on the ground. And I think there was an intention from his leg to ruck it back. But
Do you think
I
he
mean,
would
it
have known
was
it was there? There was 10
the
people
The
on top of
replay,
him.
it was played in slow-mo, and I think there's a lot that's being played in slow-mo at the moment, which is having a big influence on the decision-making. But it was about fine margins. But if you kind of look at it and then obviously listen to the way they were talking about the law or the rules, I mean, raking back when you're on the floor is illegal.
Well, the other one was the Doris try where he got held up, where it ended up on a leg. I felt like the TMO, if they'd have gone frame by frame, they may have found a blade of grass that had touched across the line, but it went... Am I getting bogged down?
Well,
here?
I just think like
Am I getting bogged down?
there's so much this chat on the social platform. Like,
Are they?
let's move on to the next week.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that try should have been allowed, that one. He almost begged. The ref said, I think it's held up. He said, held up. And then he almost begged the ref, begged the ref to go to the video ref. He did. And he said, look, if it's not conclusive, 100% I think he's held up. So I kind of think we move on for that one.
Well, here's my thing, right? The production truck is there, and we know that sometimes South African production trucks, they have interesting moments. For example, Sandpaper Gate.
Oh, always bringing it back to cricket.
No. So I'm saying if they had slowed it down and gone frame by frame, it may have been a different result. That's all I'm saying. Don't come at me. I know there is a lot of South African people that watch this game, and I think the Springboks were a way better side. All right. So there you go. I mean, everything that it was advertised as, the stuff leading in, Razzie getting in their head, Clash of the Titans, I think it's pretty safe to say that that's what it delivered, right?
Yeah.
Swoop?
Yeah, it's a great test.
And
I love
Sia Khaleesi The
Yeah.
Racing owner coming out calling him fat and he's no good. Like, I thought he was pretty good for someone that's fat and no good.
Yeah, fat and transparent. He was called by the owner, Lorenzetti, I think it is, of Racing. But yeah, he was big in the stuff in the tight. Like there's a clip that's going around and he's just running over the 13 for Ireland, like physical. But then also his role that he was playing out on the edge as well when they shifted early for their first try. Just the quick hands. Just like he's a big fella, but he's got good skill set. Like he's a quality player, right? Like the moment you start questioning players like that, you get a response.
Now, something I noticed when they were doing the lineups at the start is that only 2 of the starting 15 were under 30. So these guys, most of them, 30 to 32, some of them 33, 34. So you can kind of tell how much this Test match series means to them because a lot of the other countries are doing the rebuild, right?
Yeah.
Where you start bringing the youth through. But they're not. They're holding on.
But it says a lot for experience, right? A lot of these players, 2-time world champions, if not one, won the most recent one. Like experience counts for a bloody hell of a lot, and wholesale changes aren't always necessarily. Even if you're trying to rebuild, you've still got to have experience within your squad.
Very, very good. Last thing I'll say is well done to the DJ for rolling out with Zombie at the end of the game. Just to really stick it to Ireland. Razzie's in your head. Some good work from the DJs over the weekend. You saw during the Wallabies match in the 69th minute, I think it was, they played Summer of 69 because it's been that long since Wales won down in Australia. So good work to the DJ. It'd be a good gig, wouldn't it? DJ at one of these international matches. I might apply. All Blacks. Sorry, what's going to happen next match in Durban before we get into it? Do you think the Irish can settle a touch? They can get it done?
Look, I think it'd be pretty similar in the sense that it'll be a cracking Test match. I still think South Africa will be better for it as well. I mean, both teams having another hit out. I think South Africa played that lead-up game against Wales, but it was a vastly different team to the one that played on the weekend. So for them to have a game together, they'll be better for it as well. I still think South Africa edged them out, but yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be another world-class Test match.
Swoop?
Yeah, I'm with Drew. Yeah, the Box.
The Box?
Yeah, they're just so strong. They're a different beast. Speaking of Sia before, regardless of the criticism that anyone cops or regardless of the competition you come from, they just find a new level when they put on that Springboks jersey, and particularly when they play at home in front of their people. I don't see them losing in Durban.
Gets, do you give the Irish any hope in Durban?
I give them certainly hope, but I think even this game, say they got awarded those tries, I think South Africa, with the experience that they've got, would have found a way to win that Test. So I think they've probably got a little bit too much experience. It'll be another great game, but yeah, I'm with the Box.
Felt like the one thing missing from Ireland was Mac Hansen. Who's worth.
It's probably why they lost.
That would have been why they lost.
That's why they lost.
They're just holding him back.
Is that what it is for this
next World Cup?
Fantastic. Now was when we were going to do Holiday Swoop's hotspots in Dublin. Are you happy to do it, Swoop? How's the vibe? How's the mood?
You said Dunedin.
I said Dunedin. Would you like to do Dublin, or would you like to move on?
I can run through a brief itinerary.
Okay. Would you like to throw to the sting, or would you like me?
Sure. No, you do it.
Here's the sting. Holiday Swoops, holiday hotspots. Come on, give us some energy. Let's feel it in the room. Come on, mate.
Have we stung? Have we stung?
Let's
We've
go.
stung.
Yep, let's go.
Right, so I reckon if you find yourself in Dublin, first point of call, number 1 on the list, would be the Brazen Head. It's the oldest pub in Dublin.
Wow.
Dating back to the early thousands, I think 1600. It's a long time ago, so we're talking over 400, 500 years or something.
Is it?
Yeah. Anyway, get there for a Guinness. That's where you probably want to start with, right? There's nothing better than getting to Dublin and starting with a nice little froth and then just half pour, let it set.
What do they do? Is it called is it called like an Irish car bomb or something? Where they put a shot of Frangelico into their Guinness? Is that what it is? Is it Jägermeister? Oh, no.
Well, I wouldn't get too creative or too funky on your first Guinness.
Says you.
And that's right. I'll wait for the second.
Yeah.
Now, what's the game that you got to play with the?
Well, some play you got to split the G of the Guinness on the pint glass, but others play above the writing and between the harp.
That's right.
Which that's when you're in the elite level status, because the G's.
That's where you fucked up, Drew. Where we were drinking. and you carried on social media, and then everyone said, actually gets one.
Sorry, what is it you have to
So
sculpt to
there's
there?
the Guinness writing.
Yes.
And you got to split the writing, right? So the G is slightly bigger than the
Oh, you
UI
have to
double
have a
N E.
sip
S.
together.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to take your first sip, and it's got to settle where it settles, the black line. But elite level status is between the writing and the harp.
Yep.
And novices are just split the G.
Okay.
So once you've polished off a couple of Dublin's finest, Guinness, you'll make your way from that's Merchant's Quay. You make your way into town, Red Temple, Temple Bar. Now, Temple Bar is renowned for its unrivaled crack and service. Irish tunes, Irish whiskies, good selection of other Guinness, other beers. And you'll find yourself there for a couple. Just settle in, enjoy yourself. And then when the time is right, you're heading to number 3. And there's no better place. Put your dancing shoes on than Copper Face Jacks.
Very good.
You been a Copper Face?
Oh, hard to say.
Yeah. Been there once. It's the last time. It's the one and only. And then, didn't play a test match after that.
Oh, that's right. You were one of the Irish Six, the Dublin Six.
The Dublin Six.
What happened? What did you do?
They went out, missed curfew.
Yeah, missed curfew.
I was
I mean, what's wrong with 6 a.m.? We put 30 points on the Irish.
What time was curfew?
There wasn't a curfew. It wasn't established.
Right, so you were like 6 a.m. Sweet. What's your problem?
It wasn't 6 a.m. I'm taking the piss. It was more around like
12:31. No, but
it was half past.
I was in France at the time, not playing with the Wallabies. But what I was most jealous of is the paper the next day had the Dublin Six, and their faces replaced the guys on the Hangover. And I was really just like, which one would I have been?
I got Phil.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, the cool one.
You
would have been Alan.
Yeah, for sure. Middle name.
Who else was in the Dublin Six?
Myself, Camo, Liam Gill.
Deno?
Potentially, yes.
Benny Robinson.
Ben Robinson. He was. But yeah. Oh, look, it's
Good times.
water under the bridge.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's under the bridge.
All right, there you go. Was that Holiday Swoops Hotspots?
That was it. That's
All right,
Hotspots.
good. Yep.
Yeah, it's stinging out.
Very good. Holiday Swoops Hotspots. What a great segment. It was meant to happen now during the All Blacks England chat because I said Dunedin, but Dublin, great town. The All Blacks, 16, defeated England 15.
How many more of these games we got?
13.
Jesus.
How long have we been going, Hugo? 1 hour. Okay, we'll settle in, everybody. This is going to be a long one. All Blacks 16 defeated England 15. First big win for Razor Robertson at the helm. He can breathe a sigh of relief. A lot closer than I think everybody expected. Gitz, was this on at a good time in San Diego?
I think it was pretty horrible, but I got the replay. So I thought England were really good. Where New Zealand, I expected them to click. They're often starting super well, generally like a test season. But I thought the England defence, their rush D, that they tried to implement at the start of the World Cup. I remember Swoop talking about how aggressive that D was. It feels like they found their feet, and they, as a team, they found their groove with that system where they rush really quick. And it seemed to throw the timing of a lot of the All Blacks plays off. I think that's where they caught them. A lot of turnovers. I thought the breakdown was like a proper war there. Mario Toji was great. I think both teams, their back rows were amazing. I thought, the 9 Mitchell was creative and quick with the ball. But, I think off the back of that, their line speed being as aggressive as it is, it caught the All Blacks off guard. But I think this week you'll see them actually prepare for that, know what's coming, and it'll be a totally different game.
Yeah, I thought it was impressive. Like you said, the line speed from England early, like that, the first 20, 30 minutes, the ability to get off the line, but also close it down. So it wasn't like they were just kind of making a punt on taking space and, hoping for the best. They were executing really well. It's almost like they'd previewed New Zealand's attack for the last 2 weeks and knew exactly what they were going to play. That's kind of, I guess, how successful they were early, and they were really disrupting the All Blacks attack. I guess what was impressive that they recognised that is in terms of the All Blacks attack, they recognised that was the line speed. They saw the pitch, so obviously had those feedback loops and they communicated exactly what was happening and they were able to provide solutions, whether it was that kick pass, I think. Saw an example of that with Severis's try, but then they also then started to play a little bit more front door because they played a lot of out the back early on. Then they started to play front door and then go through and then get the ascendancy that way. So, I mean, yeah, from all accounts, it was a ripper test match, and I didn't expect to see the Poms bring that type of intensity, but the way that the All Blacks dealt with that was also as impressive. I thought Alex Mitchell was really, really strong. Like he played on top, he got out quick. He's an awesome player. And George Furbank, the 15 for the Poms.
Yeah, he was very good.
He's very, very good. Just took the line on from the back, and that's what we love to see.
Yeah, I mean, also a couple of injuries out of this game. Joe Marler, friend of the pod, he's battling a foot injury, so we're not sure if we're going to see him next week. And TJ Perenara's one particularly it just was awkward to watch. So there was that player, an English player, cleared out one of the All Blacks, basically back over the ruck and then onto TJ Perenara's knee, and it just sort of went pretty awkwardly. So he's out for the next game. They're waiting on scans to see just how severe that is. But, for him to kind of work his way back into that All Black squad, go to start at number 9 and then pick up that injury, hopefully it's nothing too serious.
Gets Damien McKenzie at the 10. We obviously spoke about him a lot during the superb season. How do you think he went? Yeah. We all saw shots of Richie Mwanga sitting in the crowd and watching.
I thought he probably wasn't at his best. And I think a lot of that had to do, as a game controller, if you're not ready for line speed or that type of aggressive line speed, you've got to try and find your way very quickly in that game to get your timing, but not just be for yourself, for the rest of the team. So I think while he wasn't able to adapt, I think, as quickly as he would have liked, and goal kicking as well, I thought both 10s, for whatever reason, didn't goal kick overly well, especially for a stadium that's covered. It's got a roof. That one seemed a little odd. I think you'll see a better performance this week. Both 10s will be more prepared. Obviously, I think plenty will be said about his performance, so he'll be out. And he's a class player. You've seen him in big games for the Chiefs and the All Blacks, prove himself. So I thought he had an off night, but I think he will be better for that run out.
Goy, what do you think about D-Mac getting timed out for the conversion right at the end there?
Well, you see the clocks. I don't understand how he can be timed out. I think he maybe thought his smirk was part of his run-up, potentially. I don't know. Because
well, that's part of his process.
What I mean? Like, that's part of his routine. So maybe that's why he was waiting. Then they've just said, no, time's up. So, I mean, there's no excuse for that other than either the ref needs to know the kicker's routine. But from a kicking point of view, you can see clocks everywhere. So you know where to look and how long you've got.
Do you reckon Marcus Smith needs 1 or 2 extra steps on his walk into his kick? Like he's like a step and a half. Feel like he could. I don't think I'm a good enough kicker to be given run-ups, advice for each player. But I think watching his Instagram, the one before, it seemed like his kicks were right to left, like he wasn't getting through them as much, and they seemed to. I think the first couple all go left, or any miss, I think, went left, except for the very last conversion off that try where they played out the back to him. It went right. It stayed right. So, I don't know. They'll both be better. I think all teams will be better for it. I thought all test matches lacked a bit of polish. Every game in its own lacked a little bit of polish. So they just needed that first game to get it out of the way. And I think these second lot of tests will be a lot better. Gee, that's good. International season isn't the best. Now they take on they play at Eden Park next week. Swoop, tell me about Eden Park. What's it like? What's the feel? How's it smell?
Smells good.
Okay.
Smells like grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it smells like footy.
Yeah.
Look, I just think the All Blacks, now that they've got that first one out of the way, and I just struggle to see England bringing that intensity again. I'm not too sure. Look, I'm not saying they won't, but pretty hard to with that intensity that I saw on the weekend. But also the All Blacks will go back and they'll review that. They probably would have thought that there was not of a loss, clearly because they won, but they'll go away and using a lot of takeaways and learnings from that, knowing where they could improve a lot. and they'll review that and they'll address that all week and they'll come out firing. And then obviously the All Blacks at Eden Park. No brainer.
Very quickly, Beefy. Drew, what do you think of Perifetta? Thought he played
Oh,
Yeah,
sensational. Great footwork, showed a lot of confidence.
yeah.
he's been there or thereabouts for the last few years, and obviously Barrett being capable to play 10 and 15, and also Mackenzie's probably not had another need to carry an out and out starting 15, but his form with the Blues has meant that he's got the shot, and I think he's probably been a little bit underrated for a period of time, and now he's got his shot and he's taken it. So I expect to see him probably stay there for quite some time.
So you think the All Blacks will get it done easier in Eden Park, Biv?
Yeah, I mean, I still think it'll be a close contest. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I think New Zealand will get it done.
Goit?
I
Eden
think
Park?
this one will be, this will be a massacre.
Ooh.
I'm tipping a massacre. Well, at Eden Park, you know what they're like. You know what it's like going there. You could have a great game in Wellington, and then you turn up to Auckland, you're like, what's this team? This isn't who we played last week. So and I think after a week analysing their line speed, different ways to get around them, maybe playing a little earlier rather than taking it to the line, I think they'll open them up.
There you go. There you go. Next week, we've got England taking on New Zealand. Swoop, where would you go in Dunedin? Just give me one spot.
There's only one spot to go in Dunedin.
Which is?
I don't know.
All right. Send in Dunedin hotspots. We'll take a little look at that.
Hot spot.
A hot spot. Dunedin. All right. Hey, the last game of the big matches from the weekend. This was another big one. Northern Hemisphere versus Southern Hemisphere. France, they took on Argentina. The French, they got it done 28-13. Pretty safe to say, Gitz was a bit of a second string French side down there in Mendoza, but still put Los Pumas to the sword.
I thought this was incredibly strange. Even a weak Argentinian team, whenever you play them at home, they're very tough. It seemed the other way. It seemed like they just expected it to happen. I thought the young French team took it to them. They never really – it was almost like you're watching the game waiting for Argentina to get hold of the game and actually win it, but it just didn't happen. I thought Baptiste, your little boy, Baptiste Serran, I thought he played super well, Swoop. Yeah, he had a cracking game. He's probably the only one with experience there. Philippe Contempomi, it was his first game as head coach for Argentina. I think he'd be flat with the performance that they put out. So I expect a different performance from Argentina. But what I did take out of this whole game, other than the French having amazing depth, was Tuolangi, the second rower, weighed in at 150 kilos before the game.
Second rower.
You're kidding. Second rower.
And he's
so
18,
I did a little
right?
bit of a rabbit hole. I know he could be more than that. He could be 20, I think, because he just played for he got called up from the under 20s, I think, only last year. 19, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's huge. So the biggest player, I typed in the biggest international player, this guy, Walid Mumry. He's 170 kilos. 23-year-old French rugby player. He's 2 meters tall, currently playing for Bedarides Châteauneuf in France, which I don't think that's internationally because I don't think they're in like the top 14 or Pro D2. But anyway, he's 170, 150. That's a big boy.
You're still growing at 19 as well. I mean, when are you a fully formed adult male, like 21, 22?
Yeah.
But he moves well too. He gets around and he's got great ball skills, good footwork. Samoa would be filthy. He's not playing for them.
Yeah, he comes from a great rugby family, the Tuolangis. Big boy. Big future.
Very big boy. Game 2, Buenos Aires. Can Los Pumas turn it around?
Well, I mean, look, it's going to be interesting to see what French team they put out this weekend, if they get any of the players from the final, Bordeaux and Toulouse players, whether it's a vastly different team. But even still, Argentina have got a fair bit to make up, and I know I just think the French are probably too strong.
Well, the other international clashes. So Scotland, 73, they defeated Canada, 12.
Yep.
Who did you pick there? I think somebody got all these right. You did, I think, Biv.
I think I did, actually.
Scotland, right. Then Romania defeated the USA 20-20. Biv, Biv, you said that as well.
Yep.
And then Fiji defeated Georgia 21-12. That's where you got it wrong, Swoop. You said Georgia. And Gitz, I think you said Georgia as well. Did you on that one? You said,
No,
you said USA.
I
would
think
defeat
I
Romania.
went. Yeah, I went the Eagles.
Clean sheet.
Well done, Biv.
Jeez, funny how to multi on that.
Well done, Drew.
Thank
Oh
you.
yeah,
All right, man.
Thank you.
it gives me joy when you do well, Drew.
I like that. Thanks for big upping me.
Fantastic. What a show. Filled with positivity. This show's been fully positive, hasn't it, Swoop? Really positive.
So good.
I've got what's drewing here, Swoop. Have you got a Biv? Have you got a what's drewing?
What's drewing?
Hang on, roll the sting.
What's drewing?
You're allowed to say you don't.
I mean, nothing too sort of poignant, but what's doing with the Springboks jersey?
Yeah, that
It's
was
their home
strange.
game.
Yeah.
Make Irish wear their alternate.
What colour is that green on the pant? Is that teal?
Teal, aqua.
Is it aqua?
I don't know.
Tom? Can you look up what
Cyan. But yeah, look, it's your home game, first game of the season. You wear your a traditional strip.
Yeah, I'm with you.
What else did I see? What's doing? Noel Lolasiu, yellow carded the referee because the referee put his hand out for an advantage and whacked Noah in the head. So Noah then notioned that he's got a yellow. Then there was a bit of friendly fire between the Welshies after they got a rolling maul try. One of the players pushed someone in the back and he then headbutted Liam Williams in the jaw and nearly dropped him. Yeah, what's doing?
Few what's drawing.
What's drewing? That's great.
Yeah.
Very good. Roll the sting.
What's drewing?
Very good. What's drewing? Great segment. Deserves a big cash sponsor. Speaking of big cash sponsors, great to have 4-20 back.
Hey-o.
Good, because I'm a bit hungry.
Bring in the pies, Ollie. Pop on the hats, everybody. 4-20. If you live in Australia, go and get yourself a 4-20 pie. You can get them from Coles. You can get them from Caltex. You can get 4-20 pies everywhere on every corner.
Let's get them on our website.
Let's get them. Yeah, can they click on the website? Oh, yeah, click. We'll get some sort of 4-20 pie on there. I'll have some dead horse as well. Thanks, mate. And then, obviously, it is 100% Aussie beef, the best beef you can find. They go around and they handpick the cattle. And they go, that's a pie there. That's not a pie. That's a pie there. That's not a pie. And that's what they do. And then also, obviously, footy season. It means pie season. Swoop, you know this better than anybody. Yes, the result of the quiz last week. Who got the win? Who got the win of the 4-20 quiz?
You know, they know who got the win.
The Pie Man did. How are you feeling for this week?
I've got a good feeling.
Okay, very good.
The question is if he's cheated again this week.
Oh, okay. Well,
Where did I leave my
yeah, exactly.
clipboard? Did I leave it?
Geez, that's hot.
Yeah.
Nothing better than a hot 4-20.
Yeah.
Have it with your other hand, Swoop.
Yeah. No.
Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Maybe if there was a frozen pie, that'd go all right. But
All right, the KOKO Quiz brought to you by 4-20. So glad to have them on board. The subject this week, gents, is Wales.
Ooh.
Take that how you will. The very first question, and I will try my best to sort of go around and spread it out who gets to answer the question first. We'll see how we go. I'm pretty hopeless at this. Question number 1. When we were all in Hong Kong on our first night out in Wan Chai, we met up with Jamie Roberts. Whilst out, what did Jamie steal from Swoop at 3 a.m? Was it A, a beer, B, a kebab, C, a vape, D, Swoop's virginity? Goit.
It's not D because I did that. It's B.
Would you go?
Kebab? Is kebab?
Kebab B,
Is that
what are you
B?
going?
Yeah, I don't think I was there. Did I go home?
You did go home.
It's weird for me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think kebab.
Kebab and
Kebab.
Swoop. Kebab, ding, ding, ding. Well done, everybody. Kebab and a big shout out to Jamie Roberts, who ignored our DMs during the week.
Oh,
he did
Wanker.
thank me the next day for the kebab, though.
Well,
And
yeah.
the king called me the king for it.
Well, the king was a bit of a dunce this week. So he didn't return our DMs.
Oh,
But
really?
we love you. Get on board. Swoop, this is question number 2. Swoop, in the 14 times you faced off against the Welsh, you only scored 1 try. In what year did you score
yuck.
this try? A, 2019, B, 2007, C, 2012, D, Why were you so shit against Wales, Tom?
Well, before we answer that, I wasn't so shit. Played them 13 times, won 11. So, I mean...
The team was good, Swoop. You were shit, it sounds like.
It's a team game, mate.
Biv, you go first.
It wasn't 2007, so I'm going to go C.
C, 2012. Swoop.
Get kids to answer it before me.
Okay, Gits.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with C. And I apologise, Swoop. I really want to support you in this quiz. I feel like I've been a bit negative to you in the last few quizzes.
C. Okay, very good. And you, Swoop?
2019, mate.
2019. A ding, ding, ding.
Oh, well.
Oh, that's right. I was at that. That was a crossfield kick.
You know it from Bernard Foley. So,
Fuck.
where does that sit me at the moment? Up top?
Yeah.
2 out of 2. No worries.
Question number 3. In November 2009, Goit, you were on a spring tour in Europe, and after a 9-8 loss to Scotland at Murrayfield, there were calls for you to be dropped. You then went out and fucked the Welsh up 33-12. Goit stole the show. In the 9 tries to 2 display, how many try assists did you have, Goit? A3, B1, C2, D, all of them. Goit is the king. All right, Tommy. Bloody eggplants everywhere. Hey,
I'll go 2.
2. Swoop.
Yeah, I like 2 too.
2. Well, Goit.
I remember Digby the kick and Tatafu. Gee, I only remember the 2 that are sticking out, so I'm going to have to go with these idiots.
2, a ding, ding, ding. Well done, everybody. Once again, yes, it was to Digby and to Tatafa Pallotta now. Well done, Goit. All right. So you're still up by 1 here, Soup. Question number 4. In the famous video of Biv at the 2023 World Cup in the stands at the Wallabies v Wales game, what was Drew holding in his hands before kickoff? Well, we won't roll it in till after. Was it A, a beer and a water, B, 2 beers, C, a baguette and a beer, D, a sign that said, please explain Eddie? Swoop?
It was definitely beer. But he's not the one to hold 2 beers. He's big on that. So it'll be a beer and a water.
He's
Beer
not
and
big
water.
on the water. I'm going on the baguette.
Baguette and a beer and a water,
I think it's double parked.
2 beers. All right.
Was I?
Let's take a little look here. If you're
I don't
listening,
remember
we're about to
'cause I'd
roll
had
it
too
in.
many beers.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, roll it.
A beer and a water.
Good suspicion.
You handed one off, didn't you? Or oh, you faked it. That's right.
Oh, there
no,
you go.
did.
Cheers. If you're listening, he's cheersing the beer. So it's a beer and a water is the answer.
Yeah, that last bit is because I'm filthy. I'm like, I should have got a second beer.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Question number 5. Currently, Swoop has an unassailable lead. Congratulations, Swoop. You are the pie man.
I'll just pick B now then.
Oh, now you go first. You just fucking copy everyone else's picks.
I just went first then.
Question number 5. At
Now
your
I'm happy for
favourite.
you, Swoop. Well done, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Question number 5. At your favourite Cardiff night spot, Revolution or Revs, closest to the price wins. What is the price of a classic Mai Tai? You should know this, Gits.
I'm going to go £4.70.
£4.70. Swoop.
£6.50.
£6.50. Gits.
It's a 7-pounder.
A ding, ding, ding to Swoop. It's £9.25.
No,
So Gits was
Gits,
7.
he went
That's
7.
me, mate.
Yeah, he was the high.
See, I
He
see
went
what's going
6.50.
on.
I went 6.50.
And
What
I
do you
went
think?
7.
Yeah,
Come
it's
on.
£9.
Yeah, so Gits was the
That's
highest.
what I
Yeah,
just said. Gits,
7's above
You
6.
said
Swoop.
Oh, fuck, I was looking at
You're
Swoop.
just so used to.
Oh, I'm
You're
just
so
used to you
used.
winning.
Yeah.
Apologies.
You're
A
so
ding-
used to rigging it.
I was ding, ding, ding. I can't tell you 3 apart. You just got me. Just say the Wallabies. Ding, ding, ding. Congratulations
Nice,
to
bro.
you, Goit. Swoop, another victory for the Pie Man during the 4-20 Pie Quiz. 3
Three-peat. First time in KOKO history.
If you
Go
might be able to
first.
hear that
3
in the
pies.
background.
You
Oh,
are
definitely.
lush at this quiz, son.
The production staff. That's the first time we've had an applause in here, guys. You are really impressed with Swoop. Good on you guys.
At least I'm getting something right.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I think we've got an idea here to finish the show. It's the penultimate bit before the show, which is just to give a final thought on the weekend coming up. Can you pick something that will happen? We obviously have this big international weekend again, where all these big games. Can each of you pick something
Like a headline.
A headline. That's exactly it. Who would like to go first?
I'll go.
Okay, Swoop.
Wallabies back to back.
Very good. All right, 2 wins for the Wallabies. Biv?
I'm going to say Russie erases Ireland. Russie
so
Erasmus,
yes.
Russie
Yes,
erases.
very good. So 2 in a row for the Springboks.
You are clever.
Isn't he?
Maybe a blackout.
Ooh.
I could see that being the headline. The All Blacks massacre. Anyway.
There you go. All Blacks massacre. Very good. Let's see how you go, boys. Let's see if you're 3 from 3 there. Now, that was the penultimate moment of the show, the ultimate moment of the show. Lots of people online saying, bring back Waltzing Matilda. Coco, can you help us bring back Waltzing Matilda? They should do it after the haka. They should do it at the games to get the Aussie crowd going. Again, if you're not from here, get on. Have a look at what Waltzing Matilda is. It's a very important song here. Some would say it's the unofficial anthem.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people aren't fans of the national anthem, but they love Waltzing Matilda. Now, Hugo, I'm going to give you one last chance. Hugo, if you would like to come on
Hugo.
and sing Waltzing
Come on,
Matilda.
Hugo. Or
Hugo, don't put
piss
it
off
not
if you're
peer
not gonna
group.
do it.
You are going to do it, Hugo.
Yes.
Hugo. Just for people that know, Hugo is a trained actor. He's very talented.
He's a tenor.
I'm not trained.
Oh,
Not
mate,
trained.
just get out.
No,
Not
trained.
you
Oh, no,
can't
you
see him on there. You've got to
yeah,
sit in
yeah.
between
Actually,
here.
there's no camera
Sit in the middle here. Hugo runs the studio. He's a big part of the gang, and he's a very good singer.
I'm not.
I want this with
I want
bravado.
it known that
Have you put on weight? You look horrible.
it's just the angle. It's just the angle, Coit.
We'll fix that
That
in the
looks
post.
good for everyone else.
All right, lead us into it.
No, I want it known that I didn't want to do this. I don't want to do this, but apparently I'm not a team member if I don't make a fucking tit out of myself doing this.
Well, just nail it and you'll be fine. You'll get a gig.
Okay, so
so
to
nervous.
take us out tonight,
Yeah, I'm so nervous.
don't be nervous. Hugo Johnstone Burt is going to sing us Waltzing Matilda. If you're Australian, stand up. If you're not, just have a listen. Before we go, big thanks to
gone
Polo, Ralph Lauren, our major sponsor. Once again, thank you so much for providing us with this show. You can get it at maya.com.au. A big thanks to them as well for facilitating that. Also, if you walk into any Maya store in the country, you can buy gear like this. You can look like us. You can have Polo, Ralph Lauren. Big thanks to them also. 4-20. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to sing us out. Hugo Johnston Bird sings Waltzing Matilda.
Really important to go through your vocal warm-ups before pumping out this sort of stuff. Once a jolly swagman camped by a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree.
Hold it.
Mate, that's good.
Thanks, fuck up, mate. And he sat as he watched and waited till his belly boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda. You can go lower. You come a waltzing Matilda with me.
I got delay.
And he sang as he watched and waited till his billy boiled. You come a waltzing Matilda with me.
Yeah, you go.
Sound like you didn't want to wake the kids up.
Oh, wow. That is the best video on YouTube. You know what you need to do now? You need to like and subscribe down there. Or if you want extra content, might be down there, you need to go up here or up here and get more of that gear. Thanks for supporting Kickoffs and Kick-Ons, and we will see you very soon.